In the beginning there was only chaos, a vast yawning void without form, without time, without light. From this abyss the first primordial beings emerged: Gaia, the earth fertile and strong; Uranus, the sky, vast and eternal; Nyx, the night; and Erebus, the darkness together. They gave birth to the cosmos. Gaia and Uranus united, and from them came the first children, the Titans, mighty beings of unimaginable power. Alongside them were the Cyclopes, who forged the first fire, and the Hecatonchires, beings with 100 hands and 50 heads, whose strength shook the universe. But Uranus, fearful of his children, cast them into the depths of Gaia's womb, imprisoning them in darkness. Gaia, in anguish, forged a sickle of flint and called upon her son, Cronus, the youngest of the Titans, to rebel. And so Cronus rose, slicing the heavens from the earth, overthrowing his father in a storm of blood. From the blood of Uranus fell the Furies, spirits of vengeance, and from the sea foam that swallowed his severed flesh, Aphrodite, goddess of love, arose. The age of Titans had begun. Cronus became ruler of the cosmos, with his sister Rhea as his queen. Under his reign, the earth prospered, the seas teemed with life, and time itself flowed. Yet prophecy haunted Cronus. Just as he had overthrown his father, so too would one of his children overthrow him. Fearful, Cronus devoured his children the moment they were born, one after another. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon were swallowed into his dark belly. Rhea wept, but her pleas fell upon deaf ears. When her 6th child was born, she could no longer endure the cruelty. She birthed Zeus in secret upon the island of Crete, hiding him in a cave. To Cronus she presented a stone wrapped in cloth, which he swallowed without question. In the shadows, Zeus was nurtured by nymphs, fed with honey and the milk of the divine goat Amalthea. Shielded by warriors who clashed their spears to drown his cries, he grew in strength and fury. When Zeus came of age, he returned to confront his father. With cunning, he gave Cronus a potion that forced him to vomit forth his devoured children. The gods emerged fully grown, furious and ready for war. So began the Titanomachy, the war between Titans and Olympians. For 10 years the heavens shook, mountains crumbled, seas boiled, and thunder split the skies. The Olympians freed the Cyclopes, who forged mighty weapons. For Zeus, the thunderbolt; for Poseidon, the trident that shook the seas; and for Hades, the helm of darkness that cloaked him in shadow. With these the tide turned Cronus, and the Titans were cast into Tartarus, bound in chains guarded by the Hecatonchires. The age of Titans was over. The age of the Olympians had begun. From their throne upon Mount Olympus, the gods ruled. Zeus reigned as king, his thunderbolt a symbol of authority. Poseidon ruled the seas, Hades the underworld, Hera the goddess of queens and marriage, Athena of wisdom, Apollo of light, Artemis of the hunt, Ares of war, and many more, each a power shaping the lives of mortals. Yet their rule was not uncontested. From the earth rose the giants, children of Gaia, seeking revenge for their Titan kin. Thus came the Gigantomachy, the war of gods and giants. The earth split, volcanoes erupted, and the heavens burned with thunder. Only with the aid of a mortal, Hercules, did the gods prevail. The giants were crushed, their bodies buried beneath mountains, their fury the fire of volcanoes. Even more fearsome was Typhon, the monstrous storm serpent with 100 heads of fire. He rose to challenge Zeus himself, hurling mountains and thunder. For a moment even Zeus faltered, but with the power of the thunderbolt, he struck Typhon down, casting him beneath Mount Etna, where his fury erupts as flame to this day. Not all Titans had been enemies of the gods. Prometheus, the forethinker, sided with Zeus against Cronus. Yet, When the age of man began, Prometheus defied Olympus. Pitying mankind's weakness, he stole fire from the forge of the gods and gave it to mortals. With fire, humanity forged tools, built homes and rose from the shadows. Zeus, enraged, condemned Prometheus to torment chained upon the desolate Caucasus Mountains. An eagle tore at his liver each day, only for it to heal each night. Endless agony, eternal punishment. Yet Prometheus endured, his spirit unbroken. His gift burned within mankind, a flame no god could extinguish. To punish humanity, Zeus created Pandora, the first woman, with beauty and irresistible curiosity. She was given a jar forbidden to open, but curiosity triumphed. From it spilled sickness, misery, and despair, flooding the world. Only one thing remained within, hope, the last and greatest gift. Though gods ruled the skies, mortals rose in valor upon the earth. Their deeds forged an age of legends. The greatest was Hercules, son of Zeus, cursed with madness by Hera. To atone, he endured 12 impossible labors. He slew the Nemean lion, whose hide no blade could pierce. He severed the Hydra's heads, cauterizing each with fire. He captured the Ceryneian hind, the Erymanthian boar, and the birds of Stymphalos. He cleaned the Augean stables in a single day, wrestled the Cretan bull, and tamed the mares of Diomedes. He seized the girdle of Hippolyta, the cattle of Geryon, and the apples of the Hesperides. At last he descended into Hades itself, dragging Cerberus into the light. Through blood and fire, Hercules became immortal, ascending to Olympus. His strength eternal Perseus, son of Zeus, braved the lair of Medusa. With Athena's shield and Hermes' sandals, he severed her serpent head, its gaze still deadly. With it, he defeated the Kraken, saving Andromeda, and carved his name into legend. Theseus, prince of Athens, entered the labyrinth of Daedalus, facing the Minotaur. With Ariadne's golden thread, he found his way through the maze and struck down the beast, freeing Athens from terror. Jason, with the Argonauts, sailed in search of the Golden Fleece. Through clashing rocks, harpies, and sleepless dragons, he triumphed with the aid of Medea. Yet betrayal and tragedy marked his fate, for even heroes cannot escape sorrow. The greatest tale of all was the Trojan War. It began with a single choice. Paris of Troy, asked to judge which goddess was fairest. He chose Aphrodite, who promised him Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. But Helen was wife to Menelaus of Sparta. Her abduction ignited 1,000 ships, and Greece sailed to war. For 10 years, Troy endured. Heroes clashed. Achilles, greatest of the Greeks, whose rage was unmatched. Hector, prince of Troy, noble and unyielding. Their duel shook the walls of Troy, ending with Hector's death beneath Achilles' wrath. Yet even Achilles could not escape fate, slain by an arrow to his heel, the only place unprotected. At last, cunning triumphed where strength failed. Odysseus devised the Trojan horse, a gift concealing warriors. By night they emerged, opening the gates. Troy burned, its towers crumbling, its people enslaved from its ashes. Aeneas fled, carrying his father and the promise of Rome. After Troy's fall, Odysseus wandered the seas for 10 long years. He faced the Lotus Eaters, who stole men's memories. He blinded the Cyclops Polyphemus, invoking Poseidon's wrath. He braved the enchantress Circe, the deadly sirens, the six-headed Scylla, and the whirlpool Charybdis. He walked among the dead, spoke to prophets, and resisted the nymph Calypso's immortal embrace. At last, weary and broken, he returned to Ithaca, where he slew the suitors that plagued his home and reclaimed his throne. His journey was not just of seas, but of the soul, endurance, loss, and unyielding will. Greek myth was not only of heroes and triumphs, it was of tragedy. For fate could not be defied. Oedipus, cursed to kill his father and wed his mother, fulfilled the prophecy despite every attempt to escape it. In horror, he blinded himself. Wandering in shame, Cassandra, gifted with prophecy, foresaw Troy's fall, yet cursed so no one would believe her Tantalus, punished with eternal hunger and thirst, forever reaching for food and water, that slipped away Sisyphus, condemned to roll his boulder endlessly, a labor without end. These stories remind us, gods may play, men may strive, but fate always prevails. Greek mythology is more than story. It is the heartbeat of human imagination. It speaks of gods that embody our passions, heroes who reflect our struggles, and tragedies that echo our fears. From chaos to Olympus, from heroes to curses, these myths endure because they are us love and wrath, pride and downfall, ambition and fate. They forge the soul of humanity. The Greeks gave the world not only gods and legends, but the eternal flame of storytelling. And as long as we remember Zeus's thunder, Athena's wisdom, Medusa's curse, and Achilles' rage, the world of myth will never fade, for myths are not bound by time. They live as long as they are told. And here, in the forge of legend, they burn eternal,